And someone said, let there be light. Check it out. So we are behind one of the side walls where the storage is going to be. So let's take a look back behind me. And there's the opening. And what am I doing in this area? Well, let's take a look at what we got here. So we've got this blown-in insulation, which you all know by now I hate. And you can see it's got this plastic fiberglass mesh on it. Well, on the other side of this wall, when I was doing the wall by the light switches, I had to take a lot of this down, and I just basically ripped it out of there, not thinking that it was attached to this side. So what had happened is, if you look at top here, it ripped it all out, and now we've got some on the floor here, and I'm just really conscious about not wanting to have loose fill insulation anywhere with the potential of it coming out. So what we are going to do is, I've got some more of this little thin hardy board here, not hardy board, but little press board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a 45-degree angle and then place the board against this and nail it in, and then do the same for the rest of this area here. However, I need a place to nail it to against this wall, which is behind this board. So I need to put these 2x4s, screw them into the 2x4s that are there, and make a nailer. But first, I have to take this off again. So that's what we're going to do here. All right, we've got a little more light in here. You can see I took this back panel off here, and then I took the top one off, and it exposed the bonus trim. And you can see where I'm at here. There's the wall and the switch to come in, and then you've got the rest of the bonus room back here. So we're behind this little half wall. And what I need to do, as I mentioned earlier, is put a nailer behind this one. So I need to take at least this section of this netting down, and I'll probably just peel it back with a utility knife at the corner there and just kind of roll it back nice and gentle. And then I'm just going to press this in behind here. I will most likely have to remove some of this blown-in insulation, and we'll clean that up later. But we're going to put one here, about like that, screw it in from this side, and then one up here like this to get the rest of it. Looks like I may have to cut some of it down, but that's the idea. Then we'll put the panels back on, and then I'll have a nailer where I can just nail everything up. I'll have a nailer where I can nail everything up here down to the bottom. So that's what we are going to do. I probably have an hour's worth of work, but it will help me sleep at night. So here we are removing some of this blown-in insulation. And did I mention earlier that how much I hate this effing blown-in insulation? I think I did. Anywho, I have a situation here where the other blocking that I put on the other side for a nailer is pretty close to where this one's going to be. It's still going to work out just fine, but in order for me to get this piece of wood in there, I had to remove all this insulation because it's so packed in there. I can't even just squeeze this in. This is really packed pretty good. As you can see, I'm getting some firm resistance here. So we're going to continue taking this out. I'm going to have to go back downstairs because I took the radial arm saw downstairs and cut a piece of wood to fit the remaining spot up here after we get this one in. Sorry, it's a little close here. It's a cramped space. And then we'll close this up and then finish up the little press board that we're going to put on here. I also brought the electric staple up, and just to add some more staples in to keep that in place so it doesn't come falling out on me. But we're going to continue on and try to wrap this up, and I'll get my bags of already blown insulation that are sitting in the storage back there and clean this up and put it in there. So let us continue on. So you can see we've got the nailer plate in there right now, and I've actually just taken a bunch of the blown insulation that was sitting on the floor here and just kind of packed it in best I could. It doesn't look great, but once the panel board's up, it'll press in pretty nicely here. So we are good to go here. I'm going to measure this up right down here and cut some angles up. We'll probably do the first 45 here, and then we've got a double stud here so we can just finish it up with the next piece of wood and call this one a day, and then put this panel back up and start with the drywall on the front piece. So we'll go from there. And so we have finished putting on the panel board to keep the blown in insulation in place. I had a little bit of scrap left over from the original piece, so I just overlaid it there because I was a little short, but it worked out well the way that was put together. And then you can see here, I put the two panels back up, and we are all good to go. So we're gonna go back on the other side and start putting the drywall up on this side now that we're all secured in here. Just got a little bit of cleanup work to do, but we'll take care of that later. So that brings us to the end of this update. So we'll move on to the next one. So until then, peace out.